You know, what I see when I look around here is I see this thing of beauty because it's a manifestation of spirit. And I
Okay.
look at the intention and the manifestation, and there's this beautiful link between that. So that's, you know, and what we try to do is inspire people with these models.
Okay, I got you clear. I got you clear. All right, so you know, Rastafari Indigenous Village. This movement that we are here is developed out of a need. It was a serious need of how we as Rastafari, who never expected to be in Jamaica for so long, you know, we always wanted to repatriate to Africa, but find ourselves almost impossible to do this at the moment because we're not generating our own income. We are not being able to school and educate our own children. And you know, we are not able to live in the environments that we would want to live in. So we are a movement of the earth, but we are not connected to any ecosystem. So landless, your children are being stolen from you, you know, by technology and by the system that looks so much more profitable. That started to become an issue. And you know, we decided that, well, we had to do something about this. So a small group of us came together, and we could not really go to one thing or the other thing. We just went straight to Rastafari. And we decided that everything about our community is what we would have to try to preserve. And then they told us about, you know, we started to look at the concept of the 3 P's: to preserve, to protect, and to promote. You know, and we decided that we could not follow the model of killing customers, because Rastafari, we are just about life, you know, the protection of life. So that gave us this opportunity to start to look at the things that are being lost within our community, our philosophies, our values. So we created a space where we share that, you know, with people about who we are, what our teachings represent, that kind of a thing. And then we moved from there. And then we started to look at the things that are being lost: our food, our medicinal herbs, or ways of farming, our drums. All of these things, we started to look at those things. And then we started to ensure that the people who are concerned about these things are now in the space. And once that happened, you know, we created something where people were now doing the things that they love, that they wanted to do, generating economics for themselves. Because in Rastafari it was difficult because we do not see hierarchy. Yes, so everyone couldn't be a worker because we don't have that kind of mentality. So it is about what they wanted to protect, and then we transform this into a sustainable approach of protecting it, taking care of it, but spreading the news about it. Yes, and so that brought in the economics, you know, which we became very comfortable with, that interpretation of economics, because then we felt like we were making a connection both with ourselves and we were protecting ourselves at the same time, you know. And a lot of atrocities have come to our community based on lack of awareness. So this space also now have been clearing up for a lot of people what it means to be Rastafari, you know, which is really and truly a relationship with all of life existence. You know, the earth, the air we breathe, all the worlds apart from the human world. Once you have a relationship with this, that is the essence of what Rastafari represents, you know. So the human world has been the most difficult relationship. You know, the human world has been one of the most difficult, even though we communicate so much and we do all of these things so much, it has become very difficult in that time, you know. But, you know, Haile Selassie taught us to be confident in the victory of good over evil. And we are convinced that there is something in the human heart, even if these partially robots, there's something there that can click, you know. And we're convinced that cannabis can do it.
Yeah.
And this is why they're probably so afraid, you know. So we really do stay here and give thanks to the plant. You know, we try to do what we call a kind of a permaculture system, because the effort in that is to show that in nature and in life, everything works together. And it may not be perfect, but they are on the mission of working together, you know? And that's what the plant world has taught us. You know, it has taught us about this ability that, you know, it doesn't push anything out of the space. Everything can grow in one space.
It's like the same philosophy with the economics, right? Of, you know, each person has something in the world that their heart is called to do. And so can we have a society that's imaginative enough to help each person walk their path instead of this thing that we have out there in Babylon, which is like all of these boxes. The boxes are all the same, but the people are all different. Each human being is different. And instead of pushing us into boxes, walking our own paths.
The imaginary hierarchy, where another human being starts to call themselves first person, second person, and third person. These imaginary hierarchy create this pyramid mentality, you know, and somebody thinks that this is bad, you know, and they only want this, you know. But until human beings are at the top, and they are so afraid to come down, you know, but that's the only thing that is left. So I think we who are down here, you know, we will have to show them that nothing is wrong with being down here, you know what I'm saying? You know, just come on down off that mentality of you being better than other people, and you know, and this is why it is so important for the Earth Warriors to give each other space, you know, because just like what you say, sometimes when other things turn up, you find the Earth Warriors also be drawn into, you know, the same type of mentality of, you know, so when you have nothing, you're the kindest person in the world. But once there becomes something, then your interpretation changes, you know. And I think those stories about ourselves are not getting out there enough, you know. The different ways in how we choose to fight the battles, it can be something that doesn't separate us, you know. It can really be viewed as, okay, a part of the strategy. You want to rush in front, okay, I don't necessarily want to stop you, but this will be my counteraction on this side as it relates to that, you know, because sometimes everything is necessary, you know. And that's how a lot of laws have been changed, from the arrogance, the ignorant, to, you know, just people who could not explain it but felt that it was wrong, you know. So we have to be able to celebrate all of those differences, you know. Yeah.
We're strong in our differences. Right? That's what makes us so strong. And you have the pyramid, right? Thinking about that pyramid shape, the geometry.
Yes.
And it's a very uncomfortable place, that pyramid.
Yeah,
wherever you are on the pyramid, it's pretty uncomfortable.
It's true,
you know?
it's true.
Even the top of the pyramid, you're always worried that you know, somebody's going to throw you off the top, right?
Yeah.
And if you're in the middle, then there's someone underneath you and someone on top of you.
Well, the only direction, if we don't fix it, it is going to go is then this way. And then that's it. It's over, you know, at that time, you know. Yeah, it's over, because then everyone is trying to push themselves to this interpretation of the top. And the interpretation of the top only use up the resources of all the other worlds. Yeah? That's all it does. So pretty soon you'll find that all the ones are up there and then there's no foundation. You know? So it will be scary.
We're getting close to that.
Yeah. Very, very close to that.
Too close to it. I think you know, one of the things that we've been talking about is there is and I don't know how much I credit the statistic, but I credit the feeling, right? That in the first several thousand years of human history, there were X number of new inventions, right? But then it only took another 1,000 years to equal the same amount, and then it took another 100 years to equal the same amount.
And now another day.
Right, right. Now another day. So we're spinning up to something, right? We're spinning up to something.
Yeah. Interesting times. Interesting times, you know. But the human journey is an interesting one, you know. We're now at the top of the food chain. You know, we eat everything, nothing. If anything eats us right now, it's like, oh, that has to go.
Yes, we're pretty vicious cannibals.
Yeah, but we eat everything, you know. So I mean, and it's how we're going to transition ourselves, you know, into these kind of collaborations that we're talking about, and how the Good Earth people, you know, the confidence that you bring to the table is that you have been around and you have seen that we are here.
I've seen it.
It's just to have the Abbey conduct, you know, of facilitation and of, you know, don't let it be a fight. You know, let's see how best we can give space by not just moving fast because you think you're right, you know, and give consideration to all of these wrong things that, you know, one of the big things I've learned through Rastafari is from the music. It's harmony. That's the word, you know. I never try to seek for unity. I think that is going to be, and this is why I keep saying to you, I find that the various registration profiles will be the only way for us to say, I did this, I did that, and I found this to be the right one. You know, it's almost like if you stop human beings from having the experience the way how they want to have it, then it's going to become almost like a dictatorship. They need to fall into the hole and know that, yes, I just fell into the hole, that's why I'm not going to do it this way. It seems as if that need is so much there, you know.
We're human beings, man.
Exactly. So, you know, I think we have to, even in our world, open up to those kind of facilitations so people can learn from their own journey as to why they wouldn't choose a particular way, you know. And yeah, because every community works different. They react different. You'll find some community like a personality, while you have other communities where everybody is comfortable in taking their own responsibility. But they all have to grow, you know, and they all can grow.